What is your never-again brand, store, restaurant, or company? La Fitness. Their cancellation policy made me so mad. Only could do it in person, and you have to do it with a manager who's there Monday, Friday, 9 to 5. No issue signing me up outside those hours, though. Fuck La Fitness. ADT by far. I called them after 2 years because there was an issue with the alarm. They informed me that, although I was paying every month, their tech never activated our house in their system. Refused a refund. Edit. This was like 10 years ago in my first house. I'm not going to take any action. 1,800 flowers. Actually, I never thought I would hold a grudge this long. 15 years, I think. I just figured they'd be out of business by now. Shocking they aren't. Wells Fargo. When my dad died, they made settling his accounts so hard. They kept moving the goalposts every time I came in with the last requirements they had. My dad died practically destitute. It took over a month to get a hold of the $2,000 he had in his checking account. Ashley Furniture. Couch broke, not even 2 years in, I removed the fabric underneath. Staples and scrap wood. Not a single nail or screw was used in the construction. Edit. I'm sorry so many other people had such a terrible experience, but I'm glad I'm not alone. Thinking back, I should have known how predatory they were the way they stalked us around the store and how willing they were to negotiate the price. I'm sure the couch didn't cost anywhere near what we paid to make. H-fucking-P. They made the compact laptop I bought in college for nearly $1,000. That thing shit the bed almost immediately. I sent it off to be repaired multiple times, but eventually demanded a refund because it was a lemon. Their customer service was non-existent, and the service manager was a prick. He laughed when I told him that I'd never buy another HP product again. It's going on 20 years, but I kept my word. Fuck HP. Never again. Panera nowadays. Jiffy Lube. I smelled burning oil shortly after driving away. I had to pull over on the side of the highway. They left the oil cap off. Luckily, it was still in the engine compartment. I have changed my own oil since. Hooters. Not for any reason you might think. The staff were fine. The food was adequate. However, for the entire 40 minutes I was in there, though, they played one song on repeat. That song was Happy by Pharrell Williams. I now also hate the song. Shout out to Wells Fargo. AIG Insurance. 40 years ago, they wouldn't sell me insurance since I was divorced and no husband. Etsy. Seller issued us a full refund on some faulty chairs, $1,200. And Etsy held it and still refuses to send it to us. It's been over a year. Typing this is making me mad again. Airbnb. I've been stung too many times. Some places are good, but when they're terrible, there is no recourse. Comcast. My local ISP ran fiber into my neighborhood. 10 gigabits synchronous fiber for $49 per MO, and it's as stable as a rock. Forever 21, hands down. The clothes are cute at first glance, but the quality is so bad it's basically disposable. I bought a sweater there once, and it fell apart after one wash. Not to mention, the stores are always so chaotic it's like shopping in a hurricane. Never again. Geico. After a shitty insurance guy added me without my consent to my BF's insurance after he filed a claim we lived in same building but not together and his car was broken into and I witnessed it and called 911. My BF gave the insurance guy my info thinking he needed it for the claim and then a few weeks later noticed his premium had gone way up. Insurance guy was like, well, she has access to your car and I can't change anything now. Had to demand a higher up and rip into them before they removed me, and only after I threatened to get the state involved. Still makes my blood fucking boil. Anything with food delivery services, DoorDash, Uber, those fucking fees are crazy. I still haven't bought gas from BP since the oil spill. Harry and David, straight up, didn't deliver a sympathy basket, and I was notified the day it was supposed to be delivered that the order was canceled. No reschedule, just cancel. Ticketmaster. I once ordered a salad at my school, and I was about to take my first bite, and I saw a spider. I looked down, and there were baby spiders all on my salad. There is no way they had even washed the lettuce because all the baby spiders were on it. They then ask if I wanted a replacement salad. Well, no. Applebee's went once, and they took so long for everything despite it being empty, and our server acted like us being there was an inconvenience. Had been there an hour, and my wife was so hungry that when they messed up everybody's order, she got up, walked across the plaza to Publix, and got a sub. I canceled her plate and my plate, and they rushed the kids' meals so they could eat and comp the meal. We never went back to one after that. Still haven't been back to Qdoba since I got E. coli 6 years ago. When I called the store I went to after getting out of a week-long hospital stay, they asked if I was the girl who called earlier that day to report this. I was not. Spirit Airlines, Wells Fargo, Dell. They stopped making computers and got into the finance computer purchases business. Then scammed me by charging for an extended warranty I explicitly declined to purchase. Facebook, Twitter, HP printers, Panera. Half a sandwich and a tiny soup is crazy expensive. Like WTF. It's basically prison food. Frontier Airlines. Victoria's Secret ruined my self-esteem as a young girl. In high school, I got fitted there, and they said I was a 38C. Everything was uncomfortable. My clothes looked awful, but they were the experts, so I believed this was the pain of being a woman, that my body was the problem. In my mid-20s, I found a bra that fits and learned that I was actually closer to a 32G, a size that VS doesn't carry. Suddenly, the back rolls were smoothed out, shirts fit better, and I was more comfortable. They convinced me my body was the problem, but it was their limited sizing. If they just told me that I'd be better off at Nordstrom, I'd probably still buy other things there. But anytime I've been in since, I start to feel like that insecure girl again. Hashtag Jeep. Stranded me once in rural Wyoming on a cross-country drive. Stranded me again at a ski resort. At night. Stranded me a third time on a Forest Service road. With no cell signal. With my infant. Don't ever buy a Jeep. We were Wells Fargo customers for over 30 years. Found out my online banking password had been hijacked by bad guys. Immediately went to the bank the following day and asked to speak to a manager about what to do. Their sole recommendation? Change my password. I did. 1 week later, our account was hit for a $50,000 loss. Eventually, and by sheer luck, we got the funds back, but not without living through a totally preventable nightmare. Fuck Wells Fargo. Mita. Edit. Good morning, darling lovelies. Since there have been a number of comments, I am referring to Meta, the parent company of a number of apps. Not just Facebook, but Instagram, Threads, WhatsApp, etc. I left Facebook in 2016, the day after the US election. I maintained Instagram to stay in touch with folks and events, but just can't in good conscience continue to support what I believe is a major destructive source of disinformation. And I agree that I wish municipalities, schools, and other organizations would stop using them. My children's schools are constantly attempting to get parents to use Facebook, for example. Anyway, hope you all have a warm and pleasant day, and thoughts and prayers to all Mets fans. Fuck Nestle. I can't always avoid their products 100% of the time, but I certainly will never intentionally support them ever. Trying to privatize water is one of the most evil things, short of privatizing air. Doc Martens. Used to love them. Now they're expensive and don't hold up. Shell. Back in the 70s, they denied my business owning grandmother a gas card because she wasn't married at the time. I'm holding that grudge on her behalf now that she's passed. Walmart, for obvious reasons, haven't set foot in one since 2003. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but Perkins Cake and Steak. Good Lord. It was one of the few nearby places in our town growing up, and every once in a while we'd be like, let's try again, and every part of the experience was always comically bad. My partner calls this the subway effect, where you wait just long enough to forget how bad it is, then try again to find out that it still sucks. I'm not cheaping out on toilet paper after the pandemic. Starbucks. Low-quality drinks at premium prices. So many better mom-and-pop coffee houses out there instead. Twitter. In 2020, I didn't realize exactly how much it was manipulating people until I created a second account and followed 2 Republican senators. My entire feed was transformed into pseudoscience, how the virus was fake, how Biden was a criminal mastermind, yet fumbling fool at the same time, etc. I deleted both accounts and never looked back. It's no wonder people spread misinformation and say, well, everyone's talking about it. It literally warps your worldview.